Alright, so today we're going to be playing Robotech Battlecry. Today was not planned to be Robotech Battlecry, but the game I was planning to do is not working. The stupid question is why I'm insisting on using traditional, proper PS2 hardware. Yep, deculture. Traditional PS2 hardware instead of just not doing that. Well, oh right, I forgot that these, there is a ranking system in this game. Well, I guess these are more like modern achievements. Oh yeah, tune ahead. Really, I completely forgot that you can pilot female armor. These achievements unlock new mechs you can pilot. Complete the Hardy Crashers 3 times. We don't need to worry about unlocking versus maps, I don't think. Alright, so I'm a little bit worried, because when I was doing testing, attempting to save the game caused big problems. But, if everything fails and blows up, I can just load and hold save, and there we go, we're gonna have, everything unlocked pretty much. But I'd rather play it from complete scratch. So, before I start talking about this game, I might as well let it speak for itself, son.
My name is Jack Archer, and I'm a pilot of the Robotech Defense Force. I was born just before the Global War. My parents died soon after the war began, so I had to learn how to survive on my own. Sometimes I wonder what kind of person I might have been if things were different. It's one of my darkest fears. If you took the war out of me, would there be anything left? The global war had been going on for a long time. All the experienced pilots were dead. My government was desperate, and the draftees started getting younger and younger. I needed a way to escape all that misery on the ground, so I didn't mind much when I got drafted. Flight training came easy to me. It was like I was meant to be a pilot. They said I had a rare talent, but somehow I didn't see it that way. After a few years, the government dissolved. I became a mercenary, hiring out to any nation that could afford me. I didn't care, just so long as I stayed up in the clouds where I could forget about all the troubles down on Earth. The war ended in a single day. All it took was a miracle. A gigantic alien spaceship broke through hyperspace on a collision course with the Earth and crashed into a small island in the South Pacific called Macross Island. The leaders of the world's nations called a ceasefire and assembled the most brilliant minds of the time to examine the spaceship and assess the possible threat of alien invasion. The evidence they found pointed to a highly advanced civilization with technology far beyond what we had on Earth, something the scientists called robotechnology. But there was an even greater discovery. The scientists found a supply of protoculture aboard the ship, a new and nearly inexhaustible energy source used to power the alien machines. The spaceship was some kind of advanced warship, bristling with powerful weaponry. They called it the Super Dimension Fortress, or the SDF-1 for short. They began rebuilding the ship as they unlocked the secrets of robotechnology. After the arrival of the SDF-1, work kind of dried up for a while. With the war over, no one wanted to hire mercenaries. The world was at peace for the first time I can remember, and I was starting to get used to the idea. Those were happy times. I had been living in Macross City, helping to rebuild the SDF-1. I was just getting used to my new life when Roy Fokker, the legendary Skull leader himself, recognized me as I was getting off work. We had met a few times during the war, Sometimes I was on his side, and sometimes I flew against him. Over the years, we ended up forming a friendship. He told me he needed pilots to join a new military outfit called the Robotech Defense Force. Roy said they had some new kind of high-performance fighter that could beat anything I ever flew. They called it a Veritech. I made Roy prove it to me, fighter to fighter. Why did the military need a transforming fighter? It was well known that the aliens were warriors, but there was one detail that was kept from the public. In a top-secret debriefing, we were informed that evidence from the crash indicated the aliens were 40-foot-tall giants. The RDF developed the Veritech fighter to fight the aliens on their own terms. It would mean the difference between survival and extinction. After my training, I was stationed with the carrier Prometheus on Macross Island. On the day the final construction of the SDF-1 was completed, the entire city prepared to celebrate. That was when the Zentradi arrived. The SDF-1 belonged to them, and they were determined to take it back.
Okay, there's a lot to talk about with what this game is and everything it's related to. So this is a game set to run partially concurrent to the, I guess at this point, extremely classic mecha anime Macross, which was confusingly marketed in America as Robotech. And when I say confusingly marketed as Robotech, it's because Macross was combined with two other shows which were pretty much unrelated to it. I think they had a few similar themes, similar enough they could be marketed together as one series, even though they're not. I think both of the other series ended up just kind of fizzling out, while Macross is still ongoing, kind of. I think the most recent series of Macross was released in 2018, something like that. I have no idea if this game is considered canon. I was going to say, listening to that opening spiel, I don't think there's anything in this game that conflicts with the later canon. I was going to say that, and then they started talking about proto-culture, which is something they invented, wasn't in the original Macross, was added, at least I don't think it was in the original Macross. I believe they had something similar but different, which again, that's why they were able to market it together. I believe protoculture was invented for Robotech, but not Macross. So, this starts with the opening episode of Macross, and it's going to cover some stuff that happens separate, but at the same time as the original Macross, then some stuff that happens in the later canon, and then it kind of splits off to do its own thing. Well, not really. There's a time skip in Macross, and this game covers a lot of what goes on in that time skip. We'll get into that more later.
We are under attack by alien invaders in Sector 412. This is not a drill. I repeat, this is not a drill. All forces proceed in battle formation.
Well, boys, you heard her. This is the real thing. Destroy all targets. We've got to cut them off before they reach Macross City.
I'm on my way, Roy.
Wolf Squad, move to intercept invaders at Zone 428. Traffic's pretty heavy out here, so break formation. But try to keep each other covered.
Now, if you watched the original Macross and then maybe went back later like I did and tried to watch the original Japanese version, you were probably really confused because they changed basically everybody's names. I have no... I was going to say I have no idea why, but this was back in the old days of localization where I guess they thought people didn't understand people had different names in different cultures. So, you can see we have jet mode. a Battleoid mode, and a hybrid Guardian mode, which is another of those names that they changed in localization. It's either Guardian in the American release, or I think it was Gearwalk mode in the Japanese release. Guardian is not the right mode for this. Switching modes is not going particularly smoothly. Might try switching to another controller in a bit. So we've got health, we have gun, we have missiles. Gun overheats if you fire it for too long, as you can see over on the right. First mission's simple enough, just a dogfight to get used to the controls of the jet. There's a lot of missiles going on. So if you know nothing about Macross except one thing, it's probably how famous it is for missile spam. It's every single time you fire missiles, so many missiles. That or the transforming mechanics, I think. That's pretty well known. Oh, it's going to take some time to stop using ace combat controls. I did do some of the training to help you remember how to actually play this game. I did not actually do the Guardian training, which was a mistake. When the plane gets too close, you can switch to battle mode, turn on a dime, switch to Guardian mode. We have smaller missiles that go really fast, really maneuverable, don't do as much damage. And of course we have jet mode, which is a jet. Heavy missiles do more damage. Not quite as maneuverable, though it's not bad.
Not bad for a rookie. Stay glued to that radar. This island is still crawling with bogies.
Rookie, I'm gonna make you eat those words.
Bad rookie.
You can do stuff.
On my roll.
Oh! I was worried this disc might not be good. And there we go. We'll see how this goes. Don't want to get into rolling scissors with enemies, we just transform and shoot them with a gun. The Battleoid mode has a pretty good auto-tracking with his gun, so you don't need to really aim. You can also shoot down incoming missiles. Has another mode that is not helpful. Oops. Well, I was gonna save it for later, but I guess we're doing sniper mode now. Not particularly helpful in this type of fight, but it'll be helpful in the next mission. Jet mode, you need to aim the gun a little bit more manually. It's not unforgiving. Where are the enemies at? You can see we have allies. If you look at their little status indicators, they also have a health bar on the bottom. Which isn't a big deal for this fight, but oh boy, is it gonna be rough in some later missions. Assuming we can even play them. Oh yeah. This is gonna be great. I'm not even gonna try to save the game. We don't need more points of failure. I have no idea if this text is legible. Didn't even think of it the first time. The Zentradi have bombarded the city from orbit, and their ground forces are continuing to destroy the city from within. After fighting the alien menace from the air, you've been sent in to help save the battered city.
SDF-1 control to Wolf 10, an alien assault force is approaching from the west. Head into Zone 209 and secure the area. Check your heads-up displays and follow the arrow.
I'm on my way.
Remember, Macross City wasn't made to accommodate anything the size of a Veritech, so you're going to run out of room pretty fast. You new pilots should stick to Battloid mode until you develop your skills.
I'm not exactly new, but Battlefield mode works really well, so... Oh right, it has tank controls. So, these are enemy scout... well, that's actually a missile pod. But generally, these are enemy scout pods. Let's see if we can find some that are not shooting at me. Nope! So you can see they have two different types. There's actually a third type we'll see later. 5 types if you want to talk about the special types. They have the missile ones, and they have ones that just have guns. These are going to be the enemies for 90% of the game, other than fighter pods. No, still not. Oh, right, I forgot about the other type of power armor. So it's like 6 ground forces, I think? Scout pods, not particularly interesting, they just walk forward and shoot. Oh boy. There we go. Glad they're taking it easy these first few missions, so I can remember how these controls work. Alright, so we've got Battleoid mode. We can use jet in the city. There is nothing that will stop me from doing it, other than automatically transforming if I go too high. If I want to joust at an enemy, transform. Oh, that's a lot. So, with Guardian mode, you automatically cannot turn around on the dime. With the other mode, you can set your speed to either hold in place, or automatically move forward slowly, or boost forward. There's no point trying to, like, minimize damage. It does not matter. Sniping, you can charge the shot, which does burn more of your ammo. Well, overheat bar, whatever. But does more damage. It also doesn't work terribly well, but is an option. Pretty sure for these first few missions you're supposed to worry about moving forward and using your gun. So I haven't been doing it. You can lock onto multiple enemies with missiles at once. See if I can find 2 enemies that are actually close enough together to do it. You can shoot missiles out of the air, but it drains your heat bar very quickly. So you can only do it in short bursts. You are not immune to missiles. See? Multi-lock.
Looks like you've got this area under control, Wolf 10. There's a group of destroids requesting backup in Zone 214. Head over there and give them support.
It does automatically change you to jet mode if you crash. So you don't have to worry about taking damage. So here we have Destroids. They are the meat and potatoes of the human force, alongside Valkyries, or Veritechs.
Meant to do that. Heads up! Watch it!
And like the Veritech Valkyries, they cannot transform. Also, unlike the Valkyries, they have a lot of missiles. Actually, I think those are the base version, which are... Hold on, which type of... There's like 3 types of destroids in this game alone. What type is this? Oh yeah, it's just got some real simple missile launchers. Fists. These enemies can't attack behind them, so if you can circle behind them, they become basically not a threat. Don't turn terribly well either. Honestly, better off just shooting them. So, I don't think they actually announce it, but this is my defense objective over here. If those get blown up, we lose.
Wolf 10, get back to your position.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought jets were made for interdiction fighting, not close support. I think I do fail if I go too far away. Some of these later missions are not forgiving. Oh yeah, no, you cannot afford to sit still and snipe if an enemy is on you.
The SDF-1 was able to escape the Zentradi attacks by executing a spacefold maneuver, which took most of the island along with it. I nearly got killed when that happened, and was in the hospital for months before I could fly again. After recovering from my injuries, they stationed me at Alaska Base. All my friends from the Academy were on board the SDF-1, and I wondered if I'd ever see them again. The SDF-1 didn't get a very warm reception when they returned. The United Earth government flatly refused to help them. They had survived for a year out in space, under constant attack by the Zentradi, only to be told that they weren't wanted back on Earth. Chiron, who was maybe the worst of the Zentradi warlords, continued to launch attacks on the SDF-1 after it returned home. When I heard that Roy Fokker had been killed, I visited the SDF-1 to attend his funeral. That's when Chiron chose to attack. Captain Gloval decided to test out a new barrier system they had developed, which enclosed the SDF-1 in a protective energy shield. It even worked, for a while anyway.
The evil Chiron is leading a large assault on the SDF-1. For the first time, the omnidirectional barrier system is used to protect the SDF-1. You are present to help the SDF-1 in its time of need. So, I mentioned this game focuses a lot on what happens in the show's time skip. This game also does a time skip where it jumps over basically the entire show. 60-70% of it. So the ship got turned on, that summoned the Zentradi, or set off an automatic distress beacon which helped the Zentradi find Earth. They used an experimental teleportation system which sent them to the end of the solar system. It shows all about them trying to get back to Earth, dealing with all of the civilians that were on board and in the surrounding area that got caught up in the teleporter, trying to deal with supplies, things like that. Really good show. Really recommend it. It touches on a lot of real interesting subject matter that even a lot of modern shows don't like to tackle particularly well. As he mentioned, he got horribly injured when they did the teleport away, which took big chunks of the city with it. And now they're trying out a new experimental barrier device. I'm sure that's going to work just fine.
It's good to see you again, Jack. I wish it were under better circumstances.
You just worry about those fighters. I'll try to keep you out of trouble.
Realized I forgot to actually read the mission objective. Just kill things until something happens. To remember that I can do loops and splits. Oh yeah! Kind of didn't even acknowledge it, but they mentioned Roy straight up died. Yeah, this was a show from, I forget if it was late 80s or early 90s. They actually just straight up killed off one of the main characters. Spoiler, I guess. They did not hold back on a lot of subjects that are, again, pretty taboo even today. Like, they had was probably the first interracial couple in anything. And I don't just mean, actually they had an interracial and an interspecies couple. Oh, yeah, no, more spoilers. And I feel like pretty much anybody who would be interested in this game has already seen the show, so I'm not terribly concerned about spoilers. I'm starting to remember how to play. Do something about all these guns. I don't think I actually have to do anything about them. I'm pretty sure that this is a waste of my time. But again, I'm playing a game from 2006, so not exactly the best use of my time in the first place. This game 2006? It's 2. It's probably earlier than that, actually.
That's
so I don't need to worry about that ship shooting me anymore. I didn't need to worry about it before, but now I have to worry about it even less. Oof. So unlike Ace Combat, hitting an enemy will not kill you. Did shake off a nice chunk of health, though. Also, I cannot brake. I can accelerate, there is no brake. So the only way you can really deal with enemies that are right behind you is to either turn really sharply, transform, do the loop, which, as I said, the only way, but I listed like 5 different things you can do. Again, you can absolutely use sniper mode in the sky. It will not stop you from doing it. Other than the fact you're going to take 1,000 hits.
It's overloaded.
Oh, I missed a gun. One criticism I do have is that it doesn't tell you when you're in effective gun range. Like, say, Ace Combat.
Attention, all Veritech fighters. Emergency. Evacuate the area immediately. The barrier system is about to chain react. You've got to get away from here, quick.
So I think you can actually fail that mission if you don't kill enough enemies fast enough, and the cutscene is almost identical. Remember having a lot of trouble with it.
When an armada of Zentradi's ships started folding into orbit around the Earth. When they had all arrived, millions of warships encircled our small planet. When the ships were in position, Dolza, supreme commander of the Zentradi, gave the orders to open fire and bombard the planet Earth. It was total devastation, on a scale even humans had never seen before. In seconds, everything I cared about was gone. If the SDF-1 had never arrived on Earth, billions of lives might have been saved. You might say that the battle was lost before it really began, but still, we fought on.
Dolza, commander of all Zentradi forces, surrounds the Earth with an armada of 5 million vessels and proceeds to open fire on the planet. You and the RDF are fighting a last desperate battle for survival. Again, this show doesn't... it never pulled punches. The humans lose. I mean, they don't lose, but they lose. They don't have it be some magical... they just beat the giant armada. I mean... no, they kinda do, but... they don't win, absolutely. We're gonna win the battle, but we're not gonna win the war. There we go. They also don't shy away from talking about how the SDF coming back is, kind of a problem for mankind, too.
This is Alaska Base. Squadrons, prepare for battle. Wolf Squadron, see if you can keep those fighters occupied. You've got to keep them off the SDF-1 until the final attack.
I don't believe it. How are we supposed to win against a force of this size? There must be millions of ships out there.
This time I actually do recommend taking out the guns, because I'm pretty sure they can hit you if you just leave them forever. Right, you can only turn around if you're boosting. If you try to turn around without boosting, for some reason you just stall out and sit there. Pretty awkward.
Time to take these guys to school.
Time. Great. Yeah, I mean... Yeah. I got, what, 5 fighter pods since it starts. So you can see they've got missile pods up here as well. You can see the port at the top left. So it's not all fighter pods. I don't believe fighter pods can fly in ground battles. Or scout pods can fly in ground battles, but they can absolutely fly in space battles. They're not as fast as the fighter pods, but they're a little bit more maneuverable. I'd say overall they're less dangerous, but they still will chip away at your health bar if you don't take them out. Yep, there's our Armada. 5 ships. Oh, great. Just gotta beat 1 million each. Now, I haven't mentioned it before, but jet fighter mode does have a decoy, that's the word, that can cause enemy missiles to lose track of you. It does cost one of your missiles to use though, so you have to be careful not to spam all of your missiles out at once, especially in a map like this where enemy missiles can come flying at you at any point. Nice little break in a minute. No.
Guard fire. Break all. Attack immediately.
Wait. That's Zentradi Ace. She's tearing the whole squadron apart. Gotta do something.
Every female Zentradi is an ace pilot. And I can't remember if that radar is saying she's way above me or way below me. Way below me. This is the female power armor. It's one of the special units. Don't see them very often. They are always something that demands your immediate attention. Like I said, they're all aces. Ouch. Well, do not get too close, I guess. Really want to fight her far away either. Honestly, I'd rather just not fight her. See, I've barely put a dent in her armor. She has done a lot to me. Just gonna get some distance to let my missiles recharge a little bit. So, admittedly, female power armor way, way, way less dangerous fighting it on the ground. Out in space, when it has complete maneuverability, it will ruin your day. Getting in close without really dodging around is not a good idea. Can't particularly recommend Battlecry mode against it at this range. She's trying really hard to stay close, so... Again, Guardian missiles, more maneuverable, more maneuverable, less damage. You see I'm also doing my best to keep one missile in reserve for if I need to launch a decoy. She's taking worryingly little damage. Well, landing at least a few hits. I don't remember if they can shoot down your missiles the way you can shoot down their missiles. I'm starting to think the answer might be yes. I don't think it's going to come up. I'm pretty sure this isn't just a female power armor, but this is a named enemy, if I'm not mistaken. I can't tell if I'm winning or not. Certainly doesn't feel like it. Didn't really see how much health I had going into the fight. So maneuverable. They love shooting missiles. Their guns are not to be sneezed at either. Best way to fight them is to use sniping, which is not really an option in space. No. It is not an option. I don't think it's a good idea. She has an overwhelming advantage at close range. Really bad time to change to that mode.
Not bad, Korean. I'll see you again when your skills have improved.
For first boss, she does not hold back. Get the Izzy paint design. We also unlock extras throughout the game. Where's a... what do you call it? Oh, there's an extra menu with interviews, that's the word, from some of the... let's see, at least one voice actor. So I think what I want to do is quit, actually. Should have been the end of part 1. Yep. So you can see the mission structure. Some missions are single, these two. And some of them are two-part missions where if you play part 1, you go straight into part 2. So we unlocked anything. We unlocked the Izzy paint design. All boss missions 2 times. No. Don't think we've unlocked anything. Yes, so if we kill 50 scout pods, we can play as that thing we just fought. It's pretty good. You saw it in action. You can't transform, which is the big drawback, but it's got missiles, it's got guns, it's maneuverable, pretty good armor. Don't remember if this will only be available in Versus or if you can play it in campaign, but so I don't think we... Yeah. So we got 3 new missions we can do. I think some of these are actually 2-part missions, but you can't tell it's a 2-part mission until you actually go into it. So, let's see. Yeah, we've only got 2 options. So, we have the more armored version, and we have the less armor, more maneuverable version. I am considering switching. It's got more missiles and it's got better targeting as well. That's the worst that can happen. Do the Izzy paint scheme, trainer, generic. Look like one of the randos. I think I'm gonna stick with Jack.
The Zentradi were warriors, bred for combat by a race called the Robotech Masters. They were created only for destruction. Human concepts such as music, love, peace, and even recreation were completely unknown to them. As the Zentradi followed the SDF-1 on its long trip to Earth, they were exposed to human culture. In fact, many of them decided to join the Earth forces. Only a handful of survivors remained on the Earth. With limited food and resources, the people endured terrible hardships as they labored to rebuild what we had all lost. Shortly after the Robotech War, I was assigned to Base 6. As luck would have it, my friends Hiro Ishii and Izzy Randall had also managed to survive the war, and now served alongside me at the base. Commander Helena Chase was the senior officer at Base 6. She was kind of a taskmaster, I guess, but like all of us, she was anxious to bring our lives back to a semblance of order, to begin again. While on duty, most of my time was spent running patrols out in the wasteland, looking for any signs of trouble. There was a shortage of food, and it was hard to get replacement parts for my Veritech. But I soon discovered that trouble was one thing that would never be in short supply. You see, millions of Zentradi had now been assimilated into human society. And just like humans, we shared some of the same flaws. There were renegade Zentradi who simply couldn't live peacefully with humans. Many of them became scavengers, wandering the wastelands and raiding human settlements when they needed weapons or supplies. Due to this new threat, the Robotech Defense Force was called upon to protect the scattered communities all over the wasteland.
Band of Zentradi scavengers have now been preying on the town of Greystone. We're going to be here a lot for months now, and they are becoming more violent with each new raid. You've been assigned to track down the scavenger party and remove the threat. Alright, easy enough.
Wolf 10 reporting in. I'm entering Ambush Hills.
Roger, Wolf 10. Renegades and Zentradi are known to be camping in these hills. They've been raiding Greystone for the last few months now, and the town needs our help. Clear the area of scavengers and make sure you destroy their munitions. Without weapons, they won't pose a threat to the town.
Sounds great. So, why do they call it Ambush Hills again? Commander?
Do you really want me to spell it out for you?
Okay, good. They're going to address that. Alright, I mean, destroying their munitions will help, but they are still, what, 30 feet tall? Here's our new enemy. Just fucking guy. Let's see if I can get a good look at him without him blowing me apart. Yeah, guy with gun. Come on, let me... Yes, you can see the Zentradi are basically humanoid. Oh, well, I guess they were in that cutscene. So you already knew that. So normal Zentradi's a little shorter than a Veritech.
There's one of the munitions crates.
Veritech is a little shorter than a Zentradi Scoutbot. So that's going to be our new enemy type. Just Zentradi with gun. Sniping's not super precise, but good enough. You can see some debris here of an enemy type we haven't seen yet.
This time, try aiming.
He did hit you, Jack. So it's not
You want some too?
Don't talk too much shit. Especially with the slightly weaker armor.
Time to take these guys to scope.
Oh, the good part of it not automatically locking onto the crates. Yeah, I have to destroy them all manually. But it does mean it doesn't automatically lock onto the crates instead of guy with gun. This isn't a terribly hard mission, you just need to be a little bit careful. Because your health will get whittled down surprisingly well by guy with gun. Unlike the scout pods, these guys basically turn on a dime. Well, when they're not kind of glitchily staring at a rock. So, maneuverability doesn't help as much, which is how you're able to beat so many of the other ones. Basically, guy with gun is an attrition enemy. Also, they don't show up on radar until you're right on top of them. Case in point. Oh.
Come back when you have some skills.
So at the start of this game, did you think it was going to be 90% exploring the consequences of a global apocalypse and the integration of alien life into human society? So I certainly didn't.
Wolf 10 to base. I've destroyed all their munitions, but I was expecting a lot more resistance.
You're right, Wolf 10. Judging by the reports, there should have been more Zentradi activity here. Why don't you swing by Greystone and make sure the town is safe?
I'm way ahead of you.
So like I mentioned, we just unlocked Trouble in Greystone. There are bad controller drift. I really should have switch controllers. Well, oh well. Greystone has come under attack by malcontent Zentradi. The townspeople have taken refuge in the Civic Center building while the angered Zentradi rampage outside. So this is one of those two-part missions. Again, you don't know if it's a two-part mission until you play part one.
The town is under attack. All citizens have been evacuated to the Civic Center. Get over there and protect them.
Now, most missions are two-part missions, but I really like how it does not necessarily show you that it's a two-part mission until you start it. It lets you have a little bit of a twist and turn in each mission. I need to be a little bit careful because I obviously damage buildings, including the one I have to defend. There is a... Now there is a bunch of cheat codes for this game. I'm not using any of them. I might add some of the unlock cheat codes, maybe. There is one cheat code that makes your bullets all destroy things in one hit. If you have something that you cannot afford to destroy, like, say, this building right here, and I would accidentally hit it with that cheat code on, it would destroy it in one hit, and that would be game over. There's another particularly interesting case where you cannot use that cheat code. Oh, you can. It's a lot harder with the cheat code on. Oh, what did I just hit? Oh, mission boundary.
Stay focused, Wolf 10.
Means the mission building is taking a little bit of damage. Oops. Oh. I hit it a few times without worrying. Awesome. That's down. Okay, so it's taking a lot of damage. Maybe I need to stop prioritizing enemies that are shooting me and prioritize enemies shooting the building.
Great job, Wolf 10. Looks like they're breaking off the attack. Move in and kick the rest of them out of town.
So I think at this point I can only lose if I myself destroy the building, which should be fine. Just don't do that. Nope, they're not actually breaking off the attack. She just said that because...
That's the last of them. Good work, Wolf 10. The town is secure.
For now, maybe. But these raids are getting worse every time.
Also, I destroyed like half the town, but, you know, don't worry about that. Right, next mission. Goes right into it. Group of Sea Sergeant helicopters. Oh no. Have departed Base 6 carrying a cargo of food and supplies to a remote frontier outpost, now under constant attack by scavenger bands. I think I remember this mission, and I think we're in for a bad time.
Wolf 10, the town of Ashfall has been suffering under frequent scav raids. You are to escort a relief flight of helicopters carrying supplies and rendezvous with the destroyed escort in the outskirts of town.
Wolf 10 to Sea Sergeants. We're starting the final approach to the outpost.
Just in time. The guys stationed out here live right on the frontier. Zentradi are pretty wild out here, so they get to see plenty of action. The ship with a food and supplies should help keep it going for a while. Just make sure we get there to deliver it.
After reaching the outpost, you've encountered a battle in progress between Zentradi scavengers and a group of Tomahawk-class destroids. Tomahawks are cool.
We're getting out of here. We'll try to swing back later after things have settled down.
Glad you can join us, Joint. These Zentradi won't let us have elephants calls. Can you give us some backup? I'll be glad to.
So the Valkyries are cool. The Destroids are the main combat force. There's not really much of an outpost left.
Come back when you have some skills. We've got a problem, Lieutenant. A few hours ago, the Zentradi hit us hard. Harder than they ever have before. They made off with our last supplies before we could drive them off. We have a lot of them, and they need food and medicine. Find our supplies and bring them back. I'll be Glad you could join us, Ted. These Zentradi won't let us have a moment's peace. You give us some backup?
We're getting out of here. We'll try to
Oh boy.
Move to Sergeant. Trying to get me revived. I'm gonna head back if I come from the...
It's time to down there. No way can let that verify.
Oh, it fixed itself. Alright, there is one more thing Guardian can do that I have not mentioned. Oops. Slow down. I think I'm being way too precise. Yeah, it's pretty generous. Can pick things up. And put them down. Really? There we go. As long as you're not holding the boost, the plane flies at a pretty moderate pace where I don't need to worry terribly about crashing into absolutely everything. I'm sure I don't need to worry about breaking those supplies. A little bit careful. Ah! I can't see my gun meter or missile count. At least I can see if I'm holding something. That's something. Can't see my health either. No, I should just assume I have no health at all times. Is this a shortcut to the last supply, maybe? So I remember this bridge. They'll not let you fly over the canyon walls. Why? I don't know. It won't. Come on. There we go. Huh, I guess it was kind of a shortcut. Was it not a shortcut? This feels so awkward when there is no mission chatter because it's frozen up on somebody's line. At least the music's pretty good. Ah, yes. Something is supposed to be happening. I don't remember what is supposed to be happening, but I have an objective arrow over this way. Now I have an objective arrow over this way. And now I can't transform. Ah! Find the missing Tomahawk pilot. Yeah, I definitely knew that was what I was doing. Oh no. Out of all the missions I thought I would fail, it was not this one. And it wasn't because of not knowing what to do that I thought would be the problem. Oh
It's time to down there. No way can let that verify.
Is there anything I can do with this? Yes, I thought I would lose the female power armor, or... not kill enough enemies in that third mission. Not that I wouldn't be able to get a hint about where to go to find the missing pilot. Well, at least I can see my stats this time. That's an improvement. Really? I'm surprised you wouldn't let me pick it up through the rock. Really surprised that it measures if there's something in the way of you picking something up. It's overall pretty generous for that. Alright, now if I remember right, the missing pilot is over... I think he's over
Time to
here.
take these guys to school.
I think I lost because I drew aggro from an enemy, but did not immediately kill him, and then he attacked the pilot, maybe? So this is a loop. So there's only, let's see, 3 different possibilities. Oh yeah, guys. You cannot transform while you're carrying something. Which means I don't have a good way to turn around. Right, yeah, let's try to use
Got another job.
50.
One of our Tomahawk pilots just radioed that he's trapped out there in the hills. Pick him up and bring him back here as fast as possible. The Zentradi may attack again any second. Kid, we've got a problem. A few hours ago, Zentradi was harder than they ever have. Paid off for the last supplies and revived them. Have a lot of them. And they need food and medicine. Find our supplies and bring them back. Glad you can join us. These Zentradi will let us have
Okay, yeah. I drew their aggro without getting close enough. Yeah, pick up and carry a pilot, why not? If I'd remembered what the objective was, that would have been fine. The pause menu displays objectives. I could have checked that. Oh well. Ah, there we go. Guy with bigger gun. Guess I put you down here. Oh, yeah, that audio. It's loving it. Maybe I should try using my cleaner disk, that might help. I'll probably do that after the stream. Alright, so we're moving on to the third group of 2 missions. Pretty sure this is a 2 mission. You've been dispatched to the airspace where unidentified flying objects have recently been detected by long-range reconnaissance planes.
Wolf 10, you are entering the sector where the unidentified readings were located. Stay alert. Lost some recon pilots around here, and I don't want to lose you too.
Hey, I didn't know you cared. Don't worry. It was probably just a weather balloon.
Fighter pods. No wonder our recon units never returned. I haven't seen as many of them since the war. I don't know what they're up to out here. It's too dangerous to let them all escape.
Roger that, Commander.
I'm starting to remember how to play. That's nice. This game feels really good and unique. Get into the hang of it. It's because you have so many different options. 3 different, very unique playstyles. There's not a lot of games that let you switch between 3 different fighting styles on the fly. Thinking like Devil May Cry, I guess. I guess a lot of character action type games do it, but I would call that this, that. It's just a really unique feeling game, and I'm sad that the later Robotech games were not as good. Because like I said, Robotech is not just Macross, it is also 2 similar series which I cannot for the life remember their names. There's one game which is ostensibly set in the same universe. There's even a Easter egg about where they mention Jack Archer, our character, but it's about aliens that use transforming motorbike power armor. She can't really change in combat to like do cool motorcycle jousting or anything like that. Boy, there's a lot of them. Keep accidentally hitting the flare button trying to change targets, which is honestly not that bad of a problem to have when the enemy is shooting this many missiles. Seems like you do a lot of incidental damage to enemies you're not really aiming at jet mode, which is nice. And there's this many enemies swarming you. Come on, let me lock onto something at least. Is that the last of them?
Some impressive flying, Wolf 10. Looks like the skies are clear. Return to base.
Not so fast, Commander. I've got a very large bogey on my radar, dead ahead.
Permission to check it out?
Permission granted. But watch your back. We're not sure what we're dealing with out there. Those fighter pods have me worried. It takes organization to launch an attack like this.
You have found that the Centrati fighter pods encountered while on routine patrol were merely the escort of a much greater threat to the Wasteland community.
I don't believe it. It's a rogue scout ship.
Sure looks that way. You don't have to say it, Commander. I know what I have to do.
you have to get gold clocked before you can even move. So fighting this type of enemy, you never want to stop going. Just go. Don't worry about attacking, just don't stop. Look at the radar. I think there's infinite fighter pods on this mission, or at least enough that I don't need to worry too much about. So I should need most of the guns on the underside, so let's head up to the top. Oh yeah, definitely more up here. Woo-woo. Sounds like my dog. Now, one trick you can use that I haven't mentioned is that if you're having some trouble seeing the enemies or whatever, you can just hold the missile lock button to target multiple enemies. That'll give you a better idea of how many enemies there are, where they are. And also do a loop upside down, which I don't think I've actually done before. Here's the last con turret.
You've done it! You've done it! Those were some pretty fancy moves, Jack. Pack it in and return to base.
I read you, Commander. But the crew of that scout ship may have survived the crash. I'd like to investigate.
No, it's too dangerous. Now cool your jets and get out of there before something else happens. That's an order.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Nope, no triple mission chains. Unlocked missions, Flood City. Now, last time, when we finished Arc 1, we unlocked 3 missions. When you finish Arc 2, we only unlock 1. So, let's head to Flood City. Flood City has been declared a no-fly zone by the RDF due to the high percentage of recent pilot casualties. Worse than Ambush Hill, I guess, in the area, likely caused by Zentradi renegades. You've been dispatched to make the area safe again.
One of our cat's eyes was shot down somewhere in this area, and we have reason to believe that the crew survived the crash. Take the 3 missing crew members back to the Strom Zone, which is marked by the arrow on your HUD. Eliminate any and all hostile Zentradi.
Orders received. Hey, Chase, do you think it's okay to drink the water?
Just get on with it, Jack.
Alright. So this was the first mission that totally walled me when I was a kid trying to play this game. This is because there is just a frickin' endless wall of enemies popping out of the muddy water. Did I just tackle that enemy on purpose? Maybe. Do I kind of regret it? Maybe. first area. And now going to see the third type of scout pod. So you notice the radar has gotten all screwy? That little bastard's the reason why. So, these guys are real easy to see because of their unique color scheme, their weird heads.
There's one of the crew members.
Now, just killing them does not make the radar interference stop. You have to either destroy the body or wait for it to blow up naturally. Which, you know, takes like an extra 5 seconds, which doesn't seem like much, but it can be a problem sometimes. Especially if there's enemies spawning all around you. You need to see which direction. Alright. So I think we do have 2 objectives, yeah. You have to clear every enemy and also rescue the 3 crew members. Fortunately, they're pretty close to the drop point. Unfortunately, I am pretty sure you can drop them in the water and kill them. So, careful about that. Yeah, I don't need to slow down, just grab them at this speed. I'm sure they'll be fine. I don't need those spines. Or organs. I need 2 more to go. Sorry, was that not good enough for you? Still not happy. Oh, there you go. Okay, so it's either I miscounted how many crew members. Could have sworn they said 3. Or the text is glitched. Don't know which is... No, the text being glitched is definitely worse. Oh, I did get you. Yep, more enemies spawning back in a place I cleared out already. That's fine. So I'm pretty sure Chase is supposed to be calling me saying, hey, you managed to not screw up, good. Go further into the city, clear out all the enemies. But I guess she doesn't want to talk to me today. So you could see on the radar, it was showing a red blip as I was approaching. So you can kind of see what's coming ahead in jammer territory, because it doesn't start jamming until you get there. And enemies will show up on your radar, and then disappear when you enter the jam radius, so... Pretty sure scout pods, or jammer pods, are completely unarmed. So you can, if you're not worried about enemies popping up behind you, you can set them as a low priority and take them out last. Unfortunately, that's kind of the whole point of this mission. Did a scout pod just spawn? Yes. Alright, there we go. He should be saying something about how he's gonna go further into the city, figure out what's going on. Chase is like, okay, be careful. Alright, Knife's Edge. You've been ordered to continue exploring Flood City in search of the leader responsible for the Entradi's recent acts of aggression. Been a while since we've had a boss fight.
It seems a little Micronia has made it past the guards I stationed in Flood City. I am Scar. You've proved that you can best my soldiers. Let's see how well you do against the Centrali All-Star. Follow me, little Micronian. Follow me to your death.
This is another new...
Hey, come back here and fight like an officer.
Yep, another new enemy type, the Officer Pod.
There's a town not far from here. That guy can do a lot of damage if I let him get away. That's a Hey, come here like the song.
Oh, I am tempted to see about trying to get this mission in particular to behave with the vocals. Oh, yeah, we're not actually out of Arc 2. This is the last mission in it.
There's a town not far from here. That guy can do a lot of damage if I let him get away. That's a Hey, come here like the song.
Well, it's the exact same error, so I'm guessing what we got is what we got. So the Officer Pod has a large main railgun and two smaller pistol-y things on its arms. Does not handle you being up close and personal well, which is the exact opposite of the female power armor. Oh, I just look so amused by that little trick, don't I? So like I said, as you can see, radar doesn't come back until the body is destroyed, just because you can kill it. Oh shit, that's scarred. This is the reason I opted for a mech with, or Valkyrie with better agility and targeting. So I could be a cheap little shit. It's like, what's he gonna do? Jump backwards, I guess? Realistically? Go for the body slam? I don't know, with those legs it might not be able to jump backwards. Oh, that music. So man, can fight him at long range. Just do some jet jousting. Doesn't not work. Definitely kills him faster. Can't really tell from my armor, but I took a few more hits doing it like that. This is the best fight ever. Say some stuff about how you'll get revenge someday. You're not running away, it's a tactical withdrawal. Gotta try to fix the audio. In fact, this seems like a pretty good point to end the stream. Ooh, got some medals. Which I think that one unlocks a new mech. And a promotion. 3 new missions as we... Yep, there's a new Veritech. And another interview. Unlocked the next tier. We'll take a look at it, and that'll be the end of this stream, I think. And I'll see if I can't fix some of the technical issues. This is my first time streaming with the PS2 proper. So, that'll be it for... Ooh, Rebel Revenge. Call to Arms. I mentioned there is a mission where you absolutely do not want to have that one cheat code on, and I believe it is this one. But that is going to be it for this stream, so I will see you next time.